Joining us now from Henrico, Jim Herring. He's a radio DJ, so he gets special, what shall we say, Michael, special attention here on the John Fredericks Show, being that he's in the radio business. But he's one of those, what they call them in the old days, record spinners, right? But now he selects the digital music for his stations. And Jim Herring running for Henrico County Chairman. Hey, Jim, welcome.
Thanks a lot for having me on the show, John. Appreciate it.
All right, give us the scoop here. Tell us what's going on in Henrico. All I know is that Ronnie Hedlund called me the other day, told me you were a great guy, and also said that something happened in Hanover that he thought was a trend. But I don't really follow the inside baseball stuff that well. So give our audience kind of a bird's eye view of Hanover and then what's going on in Henrico.
Well, in Hanover, they had a pretty entrenched existing chairman who was running against somebody who was sort of an outsider in Russ. And there was a pretty big upset last week in that particular race for chairman. And the people just spoke. I think people came out, and people finally stood up. People who had been told to stand down finally stood up, and I'm hoping that's exactly what's going to happen 1 week from today in Henrico County out of Deep Run High School, is the people who have been told to stand down finally take a stand and stand up.
Well, what do you mean when you say stand down? We know what that means in military terms, but somebody wants to run for office or something, and they're told to stand down. Tell us what that means.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a set group of people in this particular county here in Henrico who have held on to power for a while, and I'm not saying anything negative about them as people. I'm just saying that they have told other people who have wanted to run, people who have even wanted to run for chairman, to stand down, that it's not your turn. We're picking who's going to be the next chairman. There has not been a contested race in Henrico County for the chairman position in many, many years. And that's one of the reasons why I'm standing up. I think people should be encouraged to stand up. I think competition brings out the best in people and organizations.
Absolutely. And I think whenever you get entrenched in anything, competition is a good thing. And you need to keep people honest, especially political leaders. So I live in Chesapeake, and Pete Berkheimer was our chairman. He's been there for 4 terms, 8-year chairman, pretty fair guy, did a good job. And now we have a mass meeting in a couple weeks, I think the 26th of March. Carol Dietrichwet is running unopposed. But, I mean, I couldn't imagine somebody challenging these people. I mean, everybody would go berserk because it's about controlling it all, and you have this group that wants to control the cities, control the chairs, control the district. Is that necessarily healthy?
I don't think it's healthy at all. I think what's healthy is participation, active participation by people and lots of people. You know how often the Republicans get sort of pigeonholed as people say, oh, they want a lower turnout, they want a lower voter turnout. I'm telling you what, John, to me, the best voter turnout is 100%. I want everybody to participate. Mm-hmm. And those people with power do not want to expand the reach of the party because that means their power will be diluted. Mm-hmm. And I think completely the opposite. I think the power is in the people, not in a person or a group of people, but it's in everybody. So the bigger that party grows, the more people we have involved, a party of inclusion instead of exclusion, that gives us more power.
Okay, so Jim Herring, you're running for Republican chairman of Henrico County. Tell us, who is the chairman now, and what are you going to do that's different?
Well, Don Boswell is our current chairman, and he's done an excellent job. He's been a tireless worker for the party and for the committee for quite some time. He has just he's just decided not to run again, so we're not running against an incumbent in that particular situation. He has had to deal with a lot of contentious situations in his term, including the Eric Cantor, Dave Bratt race, and the way he has handled himself has been excellent. I plan on continuing that type of a tradition of trying to heal this party from the 2 different factions to realize we're all on the same team. You know, a football team has an offense and a defense, but without both of them playing for the same team, you're not going to win. And I want to expand our minority outreach programs. I want to reach out to the communities. Typically, Henrico County has been one of the most Republican areas of the country. It has not been like that as of late. When I first got involved, there's a diverse community now here as it is evolved, and we haven't reached out a hand of friendship to invite these people into our party. I want to train people on minority outreach. I want to go out there and extend a hand of friendship to areas of our county that are typically overlooked, like the East End. And I want to invite those people to be a part of it. I want to get yet another Young Republicans group started here. We don't have one. We had a breakfast a couple of weeks ago, 120 people showing up at 8 o'clock in the morning for breakfast, maybe one young person. That was very disappointing. There was maybe one person, one minority there.
Hey, look, I get it, man. I went to our Chesapeake city meeting. I think it was like Thursday night, and I don't know, maybe there was 50 people there. I don't really remember. It was on a Thursday night. I took Ann with me, the Froilan with me, and there were two young people there. They were both from the Republican Party of Virginia doing a presentation. I mean, I'm 58, and Ann is, well, I'm not going to tell you how old she is. She's younger than me. Wow, I almost slipped that, Jim, didn't I? But, like, Ann was, like, the youngest person there by, like, a mile. And, you know, I was on the younger side. I mean, the average age in that place was, like, 70. And you shake your head. I mean, they're all wonderful people. They're volunteers, and they work hard and all that. But it's like, if the party doesn't do something to get some young people involved, I mean, you got to get young people. And so I feel your pain. I was at that meeting, and I'm like, my goodness, average age, 70. Minimum, probably 73. Nothing wrong with that. I'm 58. I'm long in the tooth also. But, you know, I like to surround myself with young, vibrant people and not the same old stuff.
Well, John, it's not just that. I mean, I got involved before I was even old enough to vote. And it's funny being out where you are out in that area. Herb Bateman, former state senator, he's one of the people who got me involved in politics to begin with, because I was a young person walking on the boardwalk in Virginia Beach. And this old man came out of this hotel room, this hotel banquet room to smoke a cigarette or something, and he invited us in. And we went in, and it was Herb Bateman. And he got me excited. I'm sitting here going, man, these guys are actually accessible. These guys are real people. And I became president of the Young Republicans out in Henrico County. We don't even have a Young Republicans group anymore. We don't have the women involved like we used to. We've got a couple of women's clubs.
Well, I mean, look, the YR thing's real. I mean, there's no, like, when I grew up, that was like, you know, YRs were huge. They were powerful. I never see them. Let's get to when you decided to run. I'm sure you met with the powers to be. What did they tell you?
Well, they were not real thrilled about somebody running. They, sort of tried to accuse me of being controlled by somebody I'd never even met before. And somebody they don't like, but I've never even met or talked to this person. I told them I'm not really running against anybody. I'm running for some things. I'm running for some things that I truly believe in and that I'm passionate about. Mm-hmm. And they keep talking about unity, John. And unity is not achieved by telling people this is not your time. You need to sit tight and not run. Unity is achieved by allowing the process to play out. And whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, hey, we gave it a valiant fight. Now we can all unite afterwards.
Yeah, it's sad that we can't get excited about getting more people involved in the process. The old guard wants to control the various factions, and they don't want challenges. Nobody wants a challenge. It's kind of funny you have that when people are entrenched, is they almost resent the fact that they have to work to get reelected, and they get mad if somebody files for something. Let's get to Henrico County. What congressional district is Henrico in now?
Well, Henrico's in a little bit different state now than it used to be. Of course, we have the 7th district, but parts of Henrico County are also now in the 4th congressional district as well. And that has brought on a very interesting situation. Our 7th district congressman, our incumbent who's running for re-election in Dave Bratt, he looked like he had faced a potential challenger for the Republican nomination in our Henrico County Sheriff, Mike Wade. Now that the 4th district has become a part of Henrico County, it looks like Mike Wade is going to be running for Congress out in the 4th district. So creates an interesting dynamic now that was not there before.
Jim, when is your mass meeting?
Our mass meeting is exactly 1 week from today, John. It's March 22nd at Deep Run High School out in the west end of Henrico County. And the doors open at 5:30, and the mass meeting starts at 7 o'clock. It is open to any registered voter in Henrico County. You must bring a photo ID, just like when you go to the polls, and you must be present. You cannot vote by proxy, and you cannot just come in and drop a ballot and leave. You'll have to stay for the meeting. We're going to try to make it be as expedited as possible, but we welcome anybody to come out there, and I hope to see a whole room full of people actively participating and letting their voice be heard.
Okay, so do you have a Facebook page or something where you can direct people to?
Absolutely. You can go to facebook.com/herring like a fish, HERRING. 1 week from today is our mass meeting. 1 week from today, March 22nd.
1 week from today, March 22nd. That's going to be a Tuesday night. And again, where is it?
It's a Deep Run High School out in the west end of Henrico, and the doors open at 5:30, and the mass meeting begins at 7 o'clock. The doors will be shut and locked at 7. You will not be able to come in after 7. You have to be there before then.
And, Jim, how many people have filed for that? How many people have filed to run for chairman?
Just 2 people have filed to run for chairman.
Just yourself and who else?
A local attorney named Eddie Whitlock.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Whitlock ran for state senate in District 11, ran against Janice Siobhan Donovan, the eventual winner, and Vince Haley finished fourth. Good guy. Okay. So Jim Herring, if you want to vote for him, you got to show up March 22nd. You got to be there by 7 p.m. at Deep Run High School in the west end of Henrico. Hey, Jim, thanks for being with us, man.
John, thanks so much for having me on this show.
All right.